We were left out with the control statements, so we covered if and for loops. Okay, so we saw that nested if and nested for also. So another thing, let us talk about switch control statement. In switch control statement, there will be cases, and at the end you will be having a break in each case. So suppose you have an operator. Okay, mostly this thing was done in menu driven program to select your choice. Suppose you wrote a program. Okay, you wrote a program code. Okay, program code for some push, pop, and display. Okay, so these functions are written separately in their places. So three functions are there, and now you want to write a switch statement menu driven program, so in which user has to select. So if he gives enters 1, push operation will perform. If he enters 2, pop will perform, and if he enters 3, display will perform. For keeping this thing in scenario, let us see how we can write switch statement. So we can declare int choice. Okay, so whatever I writing here, this comes under main function, your public static void main. Okay, if yeah, it comes under that. So in choice, no, so what I will do, switch switch, I'll put this choice inside this. Okay, and I'll open this. So usually I have switch inside this. I'll be having my variable which I want to like switch. Okay, so it can be a user input variable. So here I'll have cases. Okay, n number of cases can be used. Case 1 like this. Okay, case 2, case 3. So these kind of things can be used in Java. So in case we have some particular code, okay, then we'll break. Okay, why we use break is nothing but to come out of this case. Okay, so let me explain you more properly. So now, as I said, so we wrote for 1 should be for push, 2 should be for pop, and 3 should be for display, right? So let me write a code for this. Okay, first I'll write case 1. So whatever we write after the case, if the input is that from the user side, then only what we say, we will print like execute this block of code. So if suppose from scanf statement, let us talk about that later. So suppose case is 1, so whatever in the computer you gave 1 as enter, so what will happen, I'll call this push operation, push. Okay, then I'll write like this, then I'll write break. So this is one simple example. Let me use three case in case 2, if I enter 2 option, so I'll call pop function and I'll say break. Okay, then case 3, I'll say display break. Okay, so usually a switch will have cases, break in each case, and after all the cases are written, it will have one default. Okay, why this default statement is there? Default is because if neither of the cases are satisfied, automatically this default will be pressed. Suppose what happens, only 1, 2 and 3 are there. Suppose by mistake you have pressed like 10, 5, like any numbers except 1, 2 and 3 separately, so it will return the garbage value, or it will run for some infinite loop. So for that purpose we write default. So anything except these three things, so that will be like return default. So in default I will say, so it whatever you write here, that will be executed in default mode if these three cases are not satisfied. So in default, let me write system dot out dot println invalid choice. Okay, so this kind of thing will be printed. So this is one, like I know it's a bit complicated to understand, but this is what general syntax for switch. So let me take one easy example. Instead of push, pop, and display, what I'll say, let me use printf statements here. So you write full form, I'm using short form. SYS is nothing but system dot out dot println. Okay, if you don't know what is this means, you can just see the first video for understanding the basic in Java, like just for understanding this whatever I'm going to teach, not complete basic, but it should be enough for you to start with something. So suppose if case 1 system dot, so here this is my first case. Okay, like this. So similarly I can write second case, and here I can write third case. Okay, like this. So whenever I run this program, So what will happen if my entered choice is 1? So if I enter 1, this will be printed. If I enter 2, this will be printed. If I enter 3, this block of line will be printed and will come out. So since if I enter 1 now, it will only execute this much, and this remaining thing won't be executed. It will come out of switch statement. Again, if you want, you can write this switch statement. If you want to write again, so you have to use this while statement here. While true, something like that you can say, or you can also pass some any other thing. So where here until and unless while option is less than, okay, let me write the actual code itself. While choice not equals to uh, 3, like that something. Okay, you can use this kind of thing also. You can use for loop to repeat the switch again and again. So in menu driven, after once you do the push operation, if you want to push again, so you want some while loop, so you can say while true and close. So let me just close like this. So this is all about your switch thing which you have to remember. So switch things can be used in many places. Okay, so it will have n number of case. So like one basic example which I said is about in your data structure also you have your menu driven program, but the only difference here and there, switch is everything same, but here you will be writing things differently because your main programs are different, the way you give your scanf statements are different, user defined data are different. So it's like that. Okay, so if you want here this choice, you can also declare choice equals to 1. Okay, in the main program like this is there. So you can write int choice equals to 1. So this is static allocation. Okay, so here user cannot change it at the runtime. So while like at the execution time, we cannot give input. It is already like declared in the program. So if I give this, this will be printed. If I change my choice as 2 in the program and then run, this block of code will print. If I change to 2 and 3, this will print. Anything else than 1, 2, 3, if I give 4 or 0 or anything, this thing will be printed. So this is all about your switch thing in Java. So here I have taken one simple example for you to like make you clear. I know I messed it up earlier. So just see here a simple program. So for using switch, so what here done? They have, I said now like we have to repeat it again and again. So instead of menu driven, so what we have done here, we have used switch cases. So we have used a for loop in which my I na it will from 0 to 6, 0 to 5 it will be incremented. Okay, so I equals to 0, I less than equal to 6, I plus plus. Okay, so what happened in switch of I? So see here switch of I again. So now each time the value of I will change, so that value will be passed in switch. Okay, so you see in the case 1, so I have printed I is 1, then in case 2 this I is 2, then in case 3 I is 3. So like that case 0 is also written here, in which my I is 0. So for I 0 to 1, 2, 3, so these 4 cases now it will be printed properly because initially my I was 0, it became 1, it became 2, it became 3. Now after the last default statement, see, suppose because since my I value will be changed from 0 to 6, so here what happens, until 4 it will print, until 3 it will print properly, but after 3 it is greater than 3, right? So that default condition shows that I is greater than 3. So to overcome, like sometimes it happens that like whatever we mentioned in the cases, all those cases won't be satisfied. So for that we need this default statement compulsory. So default is a part of your switch. It's not like you cannot write default and leave that switch. You have to write the switch. So the output is written down, but still the remaining output where it is greater than 3 is not printed. So this is your example for switch.